Mrs. Samad, that was really, everybody enjoyed the show. We had a good laughter around. After a very a strong debate on the Prime Minister of India, the mimicry show was a welcome relief. Thank you very much. We would now like to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Saeedali, who is a motivational speaker and a trainer. Please welcome Mr. Saeedali for the motivational speech. Thank you.
It's clear, yeah? Well, a very good evening to all of you, and thank you very much for inviting me to this event. Well, I'm also part of Talkmasters, or not a very regular participant, but definitely as a trainer many times here. I'm very impressed by the timekeeping of this program. I saw the agenda, it was 7:55, and I think I'm exactly on stage at the right time here. It's a great job. It's not easy to keep time that way. Okay. At the time when I entered into this audience and I was sitting in the front, I didn't see so many people at the back, but I think the audience is still growing. Very good. How many mothers are here? Okay, I'll choose my wife to sit there. I will not ask her now. What's your good name? What's your good name? Febin. How many kids? Two? How old are they? How old is the elder one? 3. Okay, Febin. Can you tell me, Febin? I'm just trying to recollect your initial days of motherhood, when you have your baby with you and the first time. She cries, obviously. The baby is very small. And then, you feed her and then you talk to her. How do you remember? How do you used to talk to the kid? She's too small, 1 month, 50 days, 60 days, something like this. Do you remember how you used to speak to her? Like, what would you say? Just an imagination. I think I'll come this way. That's better. Yeah. Do you remember how you used to speak to her? Every mother does it. And other mothers, we all have a fair chance, yeah. What kind of talk you used to do? I mean, what would you do? Do you talk to her? Stand up, sit down? Is it something like that? Okay, then what do you talk? How do you do? Exactly. Something between you and your kid, yeah? Any other mothers here? Yeah, how did you talk? What was that? What was the subject of it? Or did you have an order? She said, it's just, what kind of a talk? Fathers can join and give a chance, yeah. What kind of a talk was it? What kind of a talk was it? It is something beyond words, okay? I know that difficulty of expressing when you say, but I'm sure it does not have any meaning. Verbal meaning, you used to talk a lot of things. How are you, my baby? Are you fine? Okay, Malayalam is okay. And everybody understands Malayalam here? Are there any non-Malayalis? No? Are there any non-Malayalis here? No. Okay, I think then we have to keep our communication. Okay, so we used to speak many things, what do you feel? You're my baby, whatever. You used to talk a lot of things. As the baby started slowly growing, now I'll go from Febin. We'll take the next mother. Who is the next mother? Yourself? What's your name? Jisha. Yeah, Jisha. How old is your first baby? 2 years. So that's the right candidate. Let's say, for example, she grew, she was in and around 6 months. You started talking slightly different. What did you do? Or how did you start seeing your baby responding?
I think we started responding at an earlier age itself.
Okay.
Like to say from 3 months itself.
Perfect, okay. So how did you realize? What was that?
Like even while he was in my womb itself, I started talking to him. And I think I was continuing that speech.
Correct.
All my emotions I used to share with him.
Correct.
And so I thought when he reached some 3 months or something, when he cries, I also used to cry along with him. So my mother used to complain, why you are also crying along with him? Then he used to show faces like, no, mommy, don't cry.
You
Like
used
that.
to understand that faces?
Yeah, I do.
As a mother, you used to understand, no?
Yeah.
Sometimes you sing a song and then you see that reaction on his face.
Yes. Of course, I used to.
So you started. It's like you started, that kind of bonding. Probably not a bonding, but some kind of two-way communication. You know? He started showing you reactions. You started singing a song to him. I'm sure the song that kid would not have understood. Whatever stupid song in the worst possible tune they would have done, but the kid would have still felt.
He used to put his hands up, his fingers up. He used to tap his feet.
See.
Okay.
Okay, that is something slightly different from what Febin was saying. In the beginning, it was not that way, but then slowly you started singing. Okay. Now, what else? Okay, I'll come back to Jisha again. Now he's 2 years old. Now how is it? Keep the fighting part of it. I know every kid is naughty at this age, and it's very beautiful to see them being naughty. But how is the communication now? He talks to you?
He talks too much.
He talks too much. Perfect. How does that? How did he learn that?
I think
From a person from a kid who used to show you faces and used to start to interact with you without words. When did it start changing?
started changing from maybe to say 10 months or so.
Okay. What was the change?
He used to repeat whatever we used to say.
Hmm.
Repeat the sounds first,
Okay.
then the words,
Okay.
then with meanings.
Now he talks more than you. Perfect. Let me tell you why I have been, opening up this discussion with you. In human, probably not psychology as such, but in our character, we are also exactly like this. You be in a new place, you be in a new office, you're trying to, get attached to that environment. What would you do first? You would see your people talking. What if I'm a new person in that office? You will see everybody coming and talking to you. You don't go and talk to anybody, correct? Okay? You are in a new office, and then you get introduced. You don't talk. Everybody comes and says hi, how are you? And they talk to us. We don't talk. Slowly, what happens? Like how Febin said in the beginning, Febin keeps talking. Febin is the existing person. The baby is a new one. Febin keeps talking. They try to engage, but then the baby doesn't respond. Slowly, what happens next? Once you slowly get acquainted, what happens next? Like what happened to Jisha's baby at 3 months old. Slowly, you start showing, You slowly come out of that cocoon. You slowly start performing. Correct, sir? Exactly. Okay, then what happens? Little more forward, what happens? You start talking real. You become the real, the person, the real one. And that's where you start showing, you perform and you get information, you understand the company, you understand the business, you start talking. And one step later, what happens? You start talking about the future. You start talking much more than your boss or your company, and you start saying that, see, I think in this company we could do this, and it could become bigger. Like how today Jisha's son is speaking, because he talks much more than what he was. This format is very universal. Where do you stand? Now, let me take a boy here. Who is the youngest here?
Yes, I
You.
do.
Come. Okay. What's your name?
Maruf.
Maruf. You are on a visit visa here, you're working here?
Working here.
Working. Okay. Let's say, for example, we have been talking about, how long have you been working?
1 year.
1 year. What company do you work?
Apparel group.
Apparel. The one in Jabalali.
Yes.
Okay. That's where you have all these branded dresses, correct? Yeah, I had a friend of mine who used to work for that company. See what happens. Can you share your experience? How was your first days in the company?
First day, like what you told,
Mm.
I'm not talking. Basically, I'm not talking too much, everyone. I need some time to engage with people. So first day there was an induction program, and they will give some idea about company, how these retail, because the other business is different from the retails. So how you have to contact or communicate with the customers.
So you are into sales,
No, I'm not sales. I'm in IT.
IT.
But first day they will give some
Orientation.
basic, orientation. And then I was sitting. After that, I'm sitting in the cabin, and my manager told me that this is introduced me to others. This is a new guy, and I'm sitting there like everybody is coming. Hi, how are you? Are you from so were you working before? Like that the first day.
Okay, so more or less, yeah, more or less we followed this thing. Now, let's say if it is not your office, okay, it's not your office, it's a public platform like this, where you have opportunities to learn, where you have opportunities to understand more things. Where would you stand in an audience? Because this is a platform where talk masters, you do public speaking, you do a lot of things like that. Where are you standing? Are you standing at 3 months? Are you standing at 1 year? Are you standing at 2 years? Where are you? You are silent here?
Yeah, I'm silent. And
You are silent here?
Yeah,
You are
I'm
standing?
just a starting beginner.
Okay, you are a beginner.
Yes.
So, what would be your plan? What would be your plan to grow? Why do you think a platform like this is going to be relevant? Because if you said yes, Faisal comes to you, says, hi Maruf, I'm Faisal, I'm part of Talkmasters, this is what we have been doing last, I don't know, since last 2-3 years we know?
More than 2 years.
2 years, yeah. 2 years we have been doing this. What is your next step? How would you grow? Now you are how many days old in Talkmasters? Let's take an example.
Second day.
Perfect. 2 years old. You just have a newborn here. Okay. So how do you take this forward?
No, actually, this is the first time I'm standing in a crowd and telling something.
Perfect.
I don't know
Very
whether
good.
it's meaningful or not. Something I'm telling.
It doesn't have to be. Is it necessary for a 2-day-old baby to talk sense? Not necessary. It's fine. It is perfectly fine. Okay. So what I mean to say, now you're getting where we are coming, yeah? We talked about the baby, we're coming to something which is relevant, and you guys need to understand this. It's fine. Many a times, we forget to realize that in certain scenarios we are still babies. We are just born. It's fine to be born. Many times we think we have grown old and we cannot be standing in a place. I really appreciate the way how Maruf says, it's fine. I have never been in a public platform. I have never spoken to anybody. When I was coming today, thank you Maruf, have a seat. Yeah? When I was coming to the event this evening, and I was with my wife, and I asked her, what do you want me to speak to the audience? It happens. Every time you have a program and you're still stuck. I came here, I asked Faisal, what do you really want me to speak? So it happens, with every presenter it happens. So I asked her, what do you want to say? She said, you have never been a public speaker, I know. At the time I married you, you are not like this. So you have grown from somewhere to somewhere. So talk about that path. Everybody has started with a zero. Everybody has started with a zero. Ganesh bhai, I really liked your song. Very nice. Please give one round of applause for that beautiful song. Why it also struck me the time when I entered, and I remember, I know Ganesh bhai only as an English grammar teacher. I don't know how many of you know that. The only time I heard about that pronoun and adjective and everything was years after I left school, was only when I attended a Talkmasters program in Gisays. What is important for us is to just start. How many of you have never been on a public platform like this? As here, not as a speaker, just in front of people. How many of you have never been? Febin has not been, Jasmine has not been. Then, who else? Everybody else has been? I have the same syndrome that I'm seeing. You know what is that syndrome? When the teacher asks you a question, students go like this, thinking that the teacher is not seeing me, but I can exactly pick you up. I can know who is there and what they're doing. Okay, so tell me, who has been that one person who has Never been on a public platform. So where are they? Guys at the back. I'll choose one, but it's better to lift your hands. Who wants to come here? Sir, the one with the white, beautiful cap. No. The person is sitting. What's your name, sir? Yeah.
Hello.
I know you have been on a platform. I've seen you before. What was your first experience being on a public platform, on a place where you had to speak?
Even I cannot remember because I was unconscious at that time.
Very good. Thank you. I'll give an example. Now you reminded me of something else. Probably when I was 7 years or 8 years old, my dad caught me and took me to an elocution. Sir, thank you. Have a seat. It was not an elocution competition or something, but at that time, I don't know, 1980s, 85s, the kids who were born and been brought up at that point of time, we always had the pressure. They used to write a full speech, give it to you, say, go stand on the podium and read it out. I was not even, grown up enough to be seen from the podium. I was that shocked at that point of time. I got up on the podium, as it is. We started reading, forget about speech, it was reading. Halfway through, I was out of the room. Can't do that, it's so much of pressure. But so there is nothing to be unconscious, it's fine to be unconscious. As a baby, I want you guys to really make use of a platform like this. Now that's where we are coming into. Be a baby. Stand up, it's fine to fall, and no mother will smile. Nobody will laugh if you're falling apart while you do this. There could be guys who are halfway through. So the message is very clear. Will you all be ready to stand up and go to a platform? Talkmasters is a beautiful place that way. Okay. Motivation you have got. But something else is also important. Something called as motive. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to come to a platform, Anil?
A platform like Talkmaster?
Yeah. Why are you doing this?
I want to improve myself.
Everything is answered. Anil.
I want to improve myself. That's the first and foremost. I want to improve myself.
Why?
To get into the next level of life.
Why? My question is again, why, yes, sir?
Convey the message very clearly.
To whom?
To the audience.
To the audience for what?
To their better understanding, means what I am saying they should understand.
There is something called as tacit knowledge. You know what is tacit knowledge? Have you heard of knowledges? We all know different kinds of knowledge are there. There's something called as tacit knowledge. What is tacit knowledge? The one that I get, the one I live with, and the one which will die when I die. Samir will die. Samir will go. Whatever I have learned will go with me. Everybody has got tacit knowledge. Everybody has tacit knowledge. So the question why you are doing it is not to learn and to die. You cannot do that. Because somebody has given it to you, and that is why you are having that tacit knowledge today. Somebody who has already passed. Give it to others. Your motive has to be very clear. One place where you can really start practicing is probably your neighborhood or probably your office. You can be truthful, you can be genuine, you can be soft, you can be powerful, you can be assertive, you can be everything. And all these verbal, non-verbal strengths that you get, these things, your motive has to be very clear that this is to give to others. Stand up in a place like this. Stand up in a place like this. Learn. I'm very much coming back to the same baby who decided to show expressions in the first few months. Learned maybe the song that you were singing to your kid. He or she would have learned it also a little bit. I know my elder daughter, she's not now here. She sings a song which my wife always used to sing to her. I don't know, some potato vegetable song. It doesn't make sense, it's fine. But then that song is there. Words have been picked, knowledge has been picked. And then one day, the kid starts talking very strongly, very powerful. The motive is clear? Motive is clear. So that's exactly where you become a master of talking. Just talking doesn't make sense. And that's where I think as a person who knows this platform earlier, I would really request all of you to make use of this platform and become a real talk master. Thank you very much for your